Okay, we are live here. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for taking some time impromptu this morning to come and talk to me a little bit. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
And we're at the American Geophysical Union 2018 annual fall meeting. It is Friday. We've been running around sciencing since Monday.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday.
When did you arrive?
I arrived Monday night and then came bright and early Tuesday morning. So this is the fourth day.
And you presented this week as well.
Yes,
Did you
presented.
A poster session, an oral session?
It was a poster session.
An invited session? No,
I
not.
don't think so. not a plenary, but maybe someday.
But a poster. What was your poster about?
So it was about socio-ecological indicators of change in the Arctic. It was presenting research from the summer at the International Arctic Research Center up at University of Alaska Fairbanks, and did that project with John Walsh and Sarah Traynor. So they were my mentors.
And I just pulled you out of a session where they were talking about maybe the program that you were doing your research in that you presented about.
Yes, yeah. Kaya did a really great presentation just talking about the importance of programs like Understanding the Arctic as a System, which is what the REU was named, which was kindly funded by the NSF. And just we need more programs that pull young researchers into Arctic research and provide great mentorship opportunities. And it was such a great program overall. I had so much fun and got a lot out of it. So.
The thing that you just said, since I am tired as well, it's been a long week.
Yeah.
My mind is going all kinds of crazy directions, but I haven't. The thought that I just had listening to you was you mentioned young researchers, and my brain sort of recoiled against that because it sort of sounds sort of ageist. Like, is there I mean, I know there's early career scientists and mid-career scientists, but does scientific inquiry have an age, or is it just sort of an immortal thing that you absorb into you?
No, totally. That's a good question. I think when I say young scientists, I definitely mean early career scientists. And there's still a ladder, as part of the structure of the scientific research world in general. So just to kind of get your shoe in as a young career scientist and to have a mentor, that's what I mean.
It's just interesting in our culture how much age defines sort of the
completely,
things.
yeah.
Like if you see a child playing with toys, that's a young scientist. Maybe you could. Anyway, I'm just.
Well, no. For example, one of the other REUs, we were joking about it last night that there's literally. There were a lot of people in the running for this thing at AGU called the Outstanding Presentation Award or Outstanding Student Presentation Award, something.
Yes.
And we were joking that this one kid that we saw at the conference was going to win, who was in 7th grade and already working with NASA and NSF and NOAA to build software for Mars robots or something. It was just crazy.
Did he win?
So I probably, who knows? If he didn't win that, then I'm sure he's won many other awards.
Did you have your poster in the running for that award?
I didn't. I should have, because there were also only 4 people in my session, so which was a little unfortunate, I think. But I think because it was more geared towards the social sciences and everything, and a lot of people's posters here are just geophysical, but yeah. So.
They are, and it's interesting to see how those, and I think Understanding the Arctic as a System, one of those programs that are trying to bridge communities with the geophysical science that people have been studying for 100 years and opening maybe some of those late career scientists' brains to working with people in a new way.
Totally, I feel like we think of Arctic research as consisting of glaciology, the study of snow, maybe a penguin poop or, something like that. But it's so much bigger, and it really is this completely integrative, socio-ecological system. And I think to dive into the social science aspects of it is just as important as diving into the chemical, physical, and biological aspects of that system. So
a big part of AGU is the collaborating, meeting people you've never met before. What's that experience been like for you this past week?
It's been so great. I've really met a lot of super cool scientists doing research. My session had to do with Arctic science, so I met a lot of other people doing research in different areas of the Arctic. So the person next to me was presenting about Greenland, I believe, and it was just super cool. But I've also found, so AGU has this thing called the Science and Art Community, which is really cool and something that I was really interested just upon hearing this name. And it's just kind of about emphasizing, more kind of research, but also outreach at this intersection between art and science. And so yesterday I watched a few talks by Diane Burko and C. Mark Eakin and a few other people, but it was really amazing to see that, because one of them was just talking about the role of science in documentary production, and another woman was talking about her art gallery, and she paints these cool kind of before and after pictures of like reef collapse and things like that. So it was cool just to be able to meet those people and talk to them after, ask them questions. It's almost like they feel like celebrities, because I've followed some of them on Instagram for like years before this, and it's been great.
2 little anecdotes from my own about that. I was in the poster hall yesterday, and I passed someone. I heard this person, and they were they were saying, "I just don't know if I could go talk to them. They're so cool. Oh my God!" This sort of being starstruck about science. And that's one of the great things about AGU, is just to see people meet the names they see on papers. And then yesterday, at a pop-up session, there was a new faculty member who had just got hired. She was a tenure track faculty member, and she said during her first year she was so nervous and sort of alone because her spouse traveled a lot that she sewed a quilt that was based on water research data. And so the quilt was this sort of data visualization tool. And
incredible.
This idea of science and art coming together, I think there's something there. I'm gonna explore that. Let's it's great hanging out with you. No, that's good. Let's talk about working at IARC and working at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. What's that like for you? Why Fairbanks why go there for school?
It was so crazy, because when I got in the program, I kind of had no idea what to expect. And then going up there, I mean, especially in the summer, and there really aren't too many people on campus, so you are immediately taken into this small community, and my fellow RUs and I got really close, but with each other. But we also got close with the staff of IARC, especially with our mentors, especially with Vladimir Alexeyev, Kaya, Sasha. They all basically were kind of our supervisors throughout the program. And just working at the International Arctic Research Center was so cool. I mean, even just the building is incredible, but I think some of the parts that I enjoyed the most was when we went off campus and did trips like going to a permafrost tunnel. We spent about a week at Toolik Field Station, which is a field station on the North Slope. That was incredible, because that is just the craziest little microcosm of scientific research, and just kind of a cool subculture there. And I don't know, I enjoyed the things that we did, extracurricular things.
UAF, when they are talking to prospective students, mentioned the possibilities for undergraduate research. Is that something that you were impressed by? I mean, when I saw you were chatting with the chief scientist of IARC in the session. Like, that guy knows his stuff, and he's been doing it for years. Yeah. And then you get a chance to sort of network with him one-on-one.
It was incredible. I mean, he was my co-mentor along with Sarah Trainer. So I didn't really, I had looked at a lot of his papers before I came, but I didn't know how much of a high honcho he was until I came, and I said, we're walking around in his office and everyone's saying hi. But no, it's an incredible opportunity. I can't believe that University of Alaska Fairbanks, it's such a center for undergraduate research, and just this NSF REU program, I mean, just emphasizes that. I mean, it's crazy the opportunities that we had, and it was eight of us REU students and 2 NOAA Holling scholars, and just get to have the chance to have a summer of a lifetime, just because we crafted this application, that you send in online, and then it just turns into this tangible, incredible experience that is super cool, and you get a lot of things out of it, academically.
It's hard to take chances. It's hard to say, I'm gonna, because once you fill out that form.
Not when they're in Alaska.
Once you fill out that
people
form,
would go for
it.
Okay,
that's true. I mean, I did too. I came up from the East Coast to go to Alaska.
Yeah.
But once you put in the form, you submit it, I might have to do this.
Yeah.
Did you have a moment of?
I had a moment of, oh, is this weird? What am I doing? But no, honestly, the NSF has a huge database of REU experiences, and I just saw Alaska, and I was like, I'm in. And so that was my top priority. So yeah, I mean, I'm from Southern California, so I go to school in Michigan, and so both of those places are not Alaska, but it was an incredible experience, honestly, just to go up to Fairbanks. So.
Did you always want to be a scientist? Like, is it something that?
Yeah, I think I started off kind of being your typical animal lover as a kid, and so that's what really got me into just the environment in general, because I grew up in the suburbs of Los Angeles, so you don't really get much of the nature exposure. Mm-hmm. So after kind of exploring my interests a little bit, I've kind of geared more towards sustainability and conservation, decision making, and things. But yeah, I mean, I started off as soon as I knew what college was. I knew my major was going to be zoology, and that's what I'm graduating with in a few months.
So people, what are you going to be when you grow up? And you're doing it now.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm here for.
What message would you give to students who are considering a career in science?
I say go for it. I say, how could you choose anything else, especially right now? How could you choose to go, do anything else than science? I mean, science is incredible. It's all around us,
That's how we're going to save the world.
Yeah, it is, basically. So.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I know you've got a million other things to do and people to see, and I'm going to stop this. Are you sure you want to stop streaming?